Hitting the water on your favourite stretch of river is a true Aussie tradition. And being pretty easygoing folk, it doesn't take much for us to have a lot of fun. That's why every chance I get, I head off to match wits with the locals of the brine to partake in a very underrated style of fishing. I absolutely love estuary trolling. It could be one of my favourite aspects of fishing because it's so simple. You basically throw out your lures, put them in the rod holders, drive the boat, sit back and relax. And it wasn't long and I was on. Well, here's a beautiful fish. Have a look at him. They just love those little lures. Now, they're also a very dangerous fish. They've got a lot of spikes on them, particularly here. That's a dangerous one. That'll cut you to the bone, and on this side. So I'm just going to pop this lure out of his mouth, get him back in the water. One of the most important tools you can have when it comes to estuary trolling is your sounder. It tells me the depth of water I'm in, so I can make sure I put my lures right down in the strike zone. Now, good quality sounder is so important when you're doing this style of fishing. It's no use having your lures where the fish aren't. On this occasion, we can see our depth. I know my lures go down to 6 feet. I'm in perfect position to nail a big one. The next fish was a real surprise. We've got a brimbo. Well, there you go. There's another species of fish on a little lively lure. You wouldn't believe a brim of that size would attack a lure that big. And of course, he went back to fight another day. I even managed a double hook up on little flathead, but that didn't mean I was having any less fun, as these fish are wily predators and worthy adversaries when pursued on lures. Lure fishing is fooling the fish into taking something quite foreign to them. Thus, catching a fish on a lure, I believe, is more of a challenge than bait fishing, particularly when you double the action, no matter what the size. The outfit I like to use is just a light bait caster. I've spooled it up with 12-pound braid and I've got a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. Now that's attached to a snap swivel, and you just basically put your lure on the end of it, throw it out, give yourself about 20 to 25 metres, and then the lure will get down to the depth that it's supposed to. The lures I'm using are lively lures, and these are fantastic. They come in a variety of colours, and these are the micro mullets. They go down to around 6 feet, and they're very deadly on flathead, trevally, brim, and we've even caught some really nice whiting on them over the years. A 4-stroke outboard is not compulsory for this style of fishing, but with its smooth, quiet and smoke-free running, it is a definite advantage. It allows you to troll slower and makes the fishing experience much more pleasurable. I had a great session. The tide was on the make, and so was my luck, as I was locked up on the biggest fish of the outing. As the beautiful lizard came to the net, I reflected on a perfect day. A couple of nice fish, a clean and naturally beautiful environment to fish in, and the freedom to be able to do so. No matter where you are in this magnificent land of ours, be reassured, we are truly the lucky country. Sometimes you just need a little slice of heaven in your life, and today's recipe is absolutely all about going straight to heaven, and I mean with your taste buds. Have a look at these beautiful fresh scallops. Now you can purchase them in the shell like this or loose, and they're the ones we're going to cook today. Now if you want to cook them in the shell, the best thing to do is just paste them over with a little bit of garlic, herb and lemon butter, pop them under the griller and give them 3 to 5 minutes and they'll be absolutely delicious. So let's have a look at our prep list for today. I've got some shallots. I'm going to use a little splash of olive oil, some fresh ginger, some zest of orange, half a cup of orange juice, quarter of a cup of orange juice, a little bit of coriander leaves, some fresh cream and some Cointreau. And we're going to serve them up in a heavenly little pastry case. These are vol au vents, you can get them from the supermarket, and I'll pop those in the oven just before we serve them. Now the first thing we need to do is get a pan really hot. Okay, our pan's nice and hot, so we're just going to put a little splash of oil in there and swish that around, and into that we're going to throw 2 tablespoons of sliced shallots. We've got about a tablespoon of fresh ginger there, and we're also going to throw in the zest of orange, and we're just going to saute that off and let them fry off for about 30 seconds. Okay, that's looking good. Now I'm getting a wonderful aroma coming off here, and that is the orange zest as it starts to crisp up. Sensation. Alright, now it's time to throw in our scallops. We've got 8 scallops here, which is maybe a little bit of overkill for this dish, but I love them, and they will shrink up a bit, and you want to let those seal off for about a minute and a half. Now they've sealed off nicely. Now comes the flavour additive, the Cointreau. This is an orange liqueur, and this will flame, so be very careful. Give it a good shot, pull it off the pan, and then we'll set fire to it. Yoo-hoo! Okay, now we're going to throw in our coriander and a little bit of fresh cream. There's about half a cup there, and we're just going to let that simmer down for a few minutes until that sauce thickens up to a nice medium consistency. Now I'm just going to add a quarter of a cup of orange juice to finish this dish off, and we let that sit there and simmer right down till it thickens up to an absolutely delicious consistency. Now the consistency of that sauce is just perfect, and I'll pick up my vol au vents, and if you haven't got cast iron fingers like mine, you might want to use a cloth. They're nice and warm. Now we're just going to serve these up now, and it's just a simple case of taking the scallop and place 4 of each scallop into your vol au vent cases. Now these are just perfect as 1 for an entree or 2 for a main course. Place them in just like so. And then I'm just going to carefully, with a spoon, drench that vol au vent case in that rich orange and cream glaze. Have a look at that. Now this is perfect for a dinner party, an upmarket one at that, and I guarantee that all your guests will absolutely love this if you serve this up at your next dinner party. There we go, that's plenty. Don't need more than that. And as you can see, the sauce fills up the case, and it's just about perfect as far as the amount we've got there. Let's give that plate a wipe. Now we're just going to serve a little bit of garnish on the side just for some colour to make it look spectacular for your guests. And our wine of choice with this magnificent scallop dish is a very light Hunter Valley White.